Hi everyone, it's Julianne here for Honeybee Stamps and welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I created this super cute autumn card, which could definitely be created for any time of year. The supplies I'm going to be using today include the Square Spotlight stencil set, along with the Outdoor Scene Builder stencil set, and I'm just going to be using the cloud stencil from that. I will also be using the Let's Hang Out stamp and coordinating die set, along with the horizontal Slimline borders honey cuts. So let's get started. So I'm going to be starting out by stamping a bunch of those cute images from the Let's Hang Out stamp set, and I am going to be stamping all of them onto some Express It blending cardstock using some Memento Tuxedo black ink, so that way I can do some Copic coloring. And I am just going to stamp each of these a couple of times since they are brand new stamp sets, and I want to make sure that I get a nice black outline for each of them. I just love these images. I think they are just so absolutely cute. And I definitely did end up stamping and coloring way more images than I ended up using on my card, but I'm just going to put those off to the side and save them for another project later on. So once I finish up stamping, I'm then going to start working on my Copic coloring. So I have done some of my coloring off camera to save some time in this video, but I am going to show you a little bit of it since that is what you guys requested on my last video when I asked. So I'm going to start off with the pants and the dress of both of my scarecrows, and I'm going to be coloring in both of those using my favorite blue color combination for when I'm coloring in clothes, which is B45, B34, and B97. I am going to start out with my lightest shade of B45, and then I'm going to be coming in with my medium shade of B34 in order to add my shading, and then finally I'm going to come in with my darkest color of that B97 to deepen those shadows. Once I have that darkest color down, I'm then going to make my way back down to my lightest color. So I'm going to be going lightest to darkest, darkest to lightest. This is my preferred method when coloring, but you can definitely color in your images however you like. So here I'm going to be coloring in the boy scarecrow shirt, and for that I'm going to be using the colors YG93, G94, and finally G46. And I'm going to be doing the same as I did before with my coloring. I just absolutely love these images like I mentioned before. I just can't get over how cute these scarecrows are, and I really want to use them again, but this time to make a Halloween card. I would really love to know if that's something you guys are interested in seeing. Let me know down in the comments if you are. I'm thinking about doing that card for my next week's post. Next, I'm going to be coloring in the girl shirt, and for that, I'm going to be using the colors RV34, R85, and finally R39. I was really trying to go with darker shades since this is supposed to be an autumn card, but you could definitely color in these cute scarecrows in a variety of different colors and really just have fun with them. Once I have finished up all of my coloring, I'm going to be using the coordinating dies to cut out each one of those images. So I'm just going to line up each one of my dies, and then in order to hold them in place so they don't move while I'm running them through my die cutting machine, I'm just going to be temporarily adhering them down using some washi tape. Once I've run all of those through my machine, I'm just going to simply pop them out and remove that washi tape, and then I'm going to start working on the rest of my card. So I'm going to be starting out by working on creating my background for my scene, and I've trimmed down a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock to 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 in order to create a square card that I can have a really nice border around each of the edges. I'm then going to line up that panel using the Square Spotlight stencil, and then I'm going to create my clouds, and I'm going to be using the cloud stencil that's included in the Outdoor Scene Builder stencil set to do some ink blending using some of my Distress Oxide inks, and for my clouds I'm going to be using Tumbled glass. So I'm just going to be ink blending all of those clouds down my panel, and I have masked off the bottom of that square spotlight area using some masking tape, so that way I can do some ink blending to create my grass area. So once I have all of those clouds ink blended, I'm then going to remove that mask and flip it over. And then I'm going to be using peeled paint and Distress Oxide as well, so that way I can ink blend my grassy hill area for my scarecrows to be standing on. So once I've finished up with my ink blending, I'm just going to remove that mask along with the Square Spotlight stencil, and then you can see just how cute this little scene is that I've created. Next, I'm going to be stamping out my sentiment for my card, since I have decided on where I want everything to be. So I'm just going to load that panel back up into my MISTI, and then I'm going to be stamping the sentiment, "Hey Friend," that's included in the Let's Hang Out stamp set, and I'm going to stamp that sentiment again using some more of that Memento Tuxedo black ink. With my sentiment all stamped out, I'm now going to start working on assembling everything else together. I'm going to start out by adhering the girl Scarecrow down to my card using some liquid adhesive. Once I have her adhered, I'm then going to adhere both of those corn images down to my background as well on the right-hand side of my card this time. I wanted to add one of those cute crows, so I'm going to pop one of them up on top of my girl Scarecrow, and I'm going to be using some foam adhesive for that. And then finally, I'm going to be adhering my boy Scarecrow as well using some foam adhesive, and I'm just going to place him in the center of my card. Finally, to finish off my card for today, I'm going to be adhering a few of the gold confetti mix pieces throughout my background, and I'm going to be adhering those using a little bit more of that liquid adhesive. And once I get those last couple adhered, that's going to complete my autumn scene card using the Let's Hang Out stamp set. I just love how this card turned out, and again, I am just in love with those adorable images. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below, as well as subscribe for even more card making ideas. If you're interested in any of the supplies I used today, I will have them all listed and linked down below in the description box. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting!